All right. Let's get it out of the way right now. I don't look the way I usually look, Mac. Got a haircut.
Yep.
They might have taken a smidge too much off.
Yeah, I mean, you're known for your luscious locks up top there. You got a fucking military high and tight right now. What the hell happened?
Well, after watching The Punisher, I am here to announce.
You're like, well, Bernthal has a lot, not dissimilar to what you normally rock. He's got a little high poof going.
Bernthal looks great.
Yeah.
I went into the barber shop, and I said, let me get that. I pointed to one of the photos. And as soon as they gave one graze of the buzzer up to the top of my head, I said, I guess we're going with this.
Can you sue?
Can you sue? That is a good question.
If this feels like, did you go to the same guy you always go to?
Different guy.
Why did you do that?
Well, I'm sorry. Same as I've been going to, but not. I've only had him a couple times, though.
Oh, man, goo. So you changed your request from the last time then?
I did change my request because my hair has been a little lifeless lately. I wanted to go a bit shorter.
All right, maybe not
Not
bad,
this
then.
short, though.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, well, now you're sort of in between. It's not buzzed, but it's also
Light year.
You can't do anything with it.
Can't do nothing with this. It is what it is.
What did your wife think?
She said, oh, you got a haircut.
She noticed.
She noticed. If she didn't notice, we'd have a real issue because I look much, much different right now. You mentioned getting haircuts. Thank you for bringing that up.
I did, yeah.
One of my coworkers brought up that maybe for like the past 4 or 5 years that this is a thing. People will go into a barbershop or a salon and pretty much say, surprise me, dealer's choice.
To a certain extent, I'm sure. You know? It's got to be someone you trust, number one. Number two, like, if your hair already is a certain way, there's only so many ways they can surprise you, you know?
Well,
like, if you went in and surprised me and you ended up looking like me, you'd be a little upset.
I was going to ask you, if you were a hairdresser, a barber, whatever you want to call it, and someone told you, surprise me, would you play it as safe as possible to not upset them, or your wildest dreams are now open, you can give them a purple mullet?
No, I think you go as, so for example, if you hire someone to redo your kitchen, you have a vision, but ultimately that guy or girl's probably going to know what looks better. They do it all day, every day. So you're like, I'd like it like this, but obviously use your expert opinion. I feel it's a bit of the same way when you go to a hairdresser.
What? You gave me the most expensive haircut. You're surprised, right?
I didn't want granite for hair.
One goo, three yeah. Goo. Jaws 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm Goo.
And I'm Mac.
And we are the Mac and Goo program. We bring you friendship.
Yeah, and today we are bringing you, I would say, I guess depending on Goo's feelings on Michael, 3 movies that were lower than expectations.
I would argue that Punisher is not a movie.
I would wholeheartedly agree, and that's part
Okay.
of the issue. That's part of the issue, I'd say.
But I'd also disagree with you on what you just said about the Punisher.
Oh, good. We just got an episode of television, I don't know, what, 7 years in the making?
Yep.
To move a character and a story along 0 feet. 0 feet.
Yep. You're telling me things that I know, but I'm going to tell you, I kind of like it.
I mean, we get the Punisher one last kill, which is what we're first talking about today, Goo. And it was teased as essentially, we're going to catch you up on where Punisher's been before Spider-Man Brand New Day, which he's featured in.
Yes.
And also we saw him in Daredevil Born Again Season 1. And at the end of that season, I believe he's incarcerated. So it's like, we're going to explain where he was in Season 2. And
I think he gets away.
It did none of what was promised.
Right. Okay.
None.
So what have you been watching? Tell me, keep it short. Tell me again right now.
What have you been watching?
Okay. Without the nuts and bolts at this moment.
I got some nuts and bolts.
We'll do that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to tell you that I am hog deep in 44-minute Marvel specials.
Oh, couldn't
I'm
be more
all
out on
in.
him. Couldn't be
All
more
in.
out on him.
Make more
You're
of
dumb.
these.
You're stupid.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
What a waste of time this was.
It's just like it's a comic series. It's a comic line. It's a book just put out.
They gave us one episode of television.
Yeah.
That did nothing.
It did something.
It didn't do anything.
It didn't do much.
It didn't do anything.
A little retready, don't get me wrong. But also, it's just here's a day in the life of this little rascal.
Goo.
Yeah.
The Punisher One Last Kill is, I guess, a TV special, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it stands on its own, so it can't be an episode if there's only one of them. It's also not a movie because, as Goo just alluded to, it's 44 minutes long. And Goo, I started getting the stench of this a few days ago when they said it's only 44 minutes. Like, if it was like 75 minutes, I understand not making a full feature. 44 minutes, you better off give me a miniseries. Give me a 4-part miniseries, Goo.
We got in, we got out, we've moved on with life.
We have moved on with life,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Goo, this is a rated TVMA action, adventure, crime, drama, thriller, subgenres, conspiracy thriller, one-person army action, which is a genre, and
That,
superhero.
Rambo,
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I think that's it. Anything Clint Eastwood?
Goo, this is written by John Bernthal, Ronaldo Marcus Green, who's also the director, and Jerry Conway. Reynaldo Marcus Green has been doing some press this week. He seems like he's, excited to do this sort of stuff. And I don't think direction was an issue with this, Goo. I will say that. Although there was one moment of CGI-ness.
There was one issue of
That was
CGI, but
real
I'm
bad.
willing to look past that if the story is fine.
And Goo, this stars John Bernthal as Frank Castle and Judith Light as Ma. You don't really need to know anyone else. You got his side cast of characters we've seen before. Jason R. Moore as Curtis Hoyle. You also have Bubbles from The Wire. Andre Royo plays a supporting part here. You get flashbacks to his mother, his daughter, yada, yada. Goo, on Roddy T's, this is interesting. 81% from the critics, 88% from the audience. I understand both to a certain degree.
Then why don't you understand me?
Because I have a higher threshold for your opinion.
You shouldn't.
88% for something that goes full Punisher here.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of blood and a lot of killing.
That's what I'm saying.
But 88% for something that only does that. There's no story here, Goo.
I told
just
you the other
completely
day
made up a
that
story.
you were getting a Punisher filet mignon, and that's what we got.
No.
If
We
you
got-
want,
we
I'm
got
sorry,
a
you want
Punisher
some flavor
skirt
now?
steak here.
Oh, Mac wants some dialogue. Mac wants some story. Mac wants more fat.
I just don't understand, like, how you spend all these years with trying to figure out what you're going to do with Frank Castle. We get a little bit of him in Daredevil. And then, like, this is the big launch off for Frank Castle in the MCU. Because, obviously, and that's the other part, like, he's popping back up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So they're like, shit, we got to tell the fans where he's been, in the last couple years. You didn't do that. We could have just seen him in Brand New Day. It would have been fine. We wouldn't have needed any further explanation because this didn't help things at all. I don't know how we got here.
Was this teased as a catch-up, or was this just teased as a let's have fun?
I don't think it was a tease as let's have fun. I don't even hear one person saying that. I just like it baseline. It's well made action wise.
Yes.
Bernthal's great because he always is. But this whole storyline where this Ma lady's out for redemption, and at 6:47, all these people are going to come to you. So you give them 4 hours to prep. Like, what the fuck was that? What in the fuck was that, Goo?
He didn't really prep, though.
No, he didn't. He just had
He
some
didn't
mental
need the prep,
anguish.
which I think that goes in your face. He didn't need the prep.
It harps on. It's a heavy focus on. It's only focused on Frank Castle's mental health and PTSD. There's a moment where he nearly offs himself. But we've already been doing this.
Yeah, we've done
this
that a
is
lot.
Not
We
new.
have.
And like the full, I guess, 25 minutes or 20 minutes of Onslaught we've gotten a little bit of that too. This maybe was
We
further
have.
than we've gone.
Yeah.
But I found this goo ultimately as a tremendous waste of time.
But
and I
how
also,
much time? Not a lot.
not a lot. To me, their last venture into this, Werewolf by Night, is more fruitful because it's stuff we don't know. And I'm okay spending small amounts of time learning about new characters. Giving us this for a character that had its own television show for, 3 seasons, and then has been in, 2 or 3 Daredevil seasons. This felt really subpar.
No.
Really
So,
subpar.
20 minutes of setup, 25 minutes of payoff. If you don't like it, how much time did you really spend watching it?
And then, the end was so abrupt, too. Like, it was going to lead into another episode, And then
And you know what? Maybe they will.
No, it's going to lead into
Maybe
Spider-Man
they will.
Brand New Day. All this stood for, Goo, was to show Frank Castle in the iconic outfit in the last 20 seconds of the episode, just to explain how he has it in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
A little girl. A little girl. That's all we need.
I can't even give this a dog score, Goo, because it's in this weird medium where it's not a movie, it's not a television show, it's a single episode of television that belongs nowhere.
30 hot dogs for this. But for the idea of this, moving forward, I want this randomly every 2 months,
Nope.
almost like a roulette. Pick
Nope.
a random character
Out.
and say, you get a 45 to 1 hour story and just give us a little something.
It's
That's
as
all
if,
I need.
It's as if you picked up one comic book
Yeah.
that had
It's a one-off.
17 before it and 17 after it, and you're just stuck with the one you got.
I just need a little one-off story. That's it. I'm fine with that.
No, you're giving it too much credit. It's not a one-off story because there's no story. There's no story.
An Italian lady, a Sicilian, if you will, a
Ma.
fiery Sicilian, Ma.
Yeah, who
That's
can
what we
kind
call
of
our
walk,
mothers.
but also likes to get carried.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. But you have a little Sicilian lady. She's upset because her family is dead,
Mm-hmm.
most likely at the hands of the Punisher.
Yep.
And then people go and attack him. What's there not to understand?
No, there's nothing about not understanding it. I understood.
You're talking
fully.
a lot about not understanding the story.
I understood fully what took place in this 44 minutes. I just think that this could have been done in 7 minutes.
Because we could have.
I would have liked this if it was 12 minutes, Goo.
We could now, moving forward,
Give me a YouTube short.
all of these tertiary characters. Give them
The Punisher's not a tertiary character.
give me a Kat Dennings half-an-hour special now.
He's an anchor of your television programs,
Give me a roadie 45-minute special, and I'll accept
For
that.
Werewolf by Night, this kind of works. For the Punisher, it doesn't work.
Give me not Sam Wilson's Falcon, but that other loser Falcon. He can have a half hour. Little one-off stories,
This was
Marvel
not good.
special presentations.
It wasn't good.
30 for the episode or movie, whatever you want to call it. 40 for the idea.
No.
Hammer
no.
this home.
Idea worse
Less
than execution.
shows, more specials.
Bad.
I said it. I said it.
This was not the worst thing I've seen. Not even the worst thing I've seen today. It's just I'm never gonna watch it again. And that's the thing too. There's no rewatchability. There's no reason to come back. It doesn't tie into anything. There's just no legitimate reason to have made this.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather watch 8 hours of Daredevil season 2,
Mm-hmm.
or would you rather they cut that down to 50 minutes? Oh, you're thinking now, aren't you? You're thinking.
I needed 2.5 hours of Daredevil season 2.
You're thinking now, aren't you? You didn't know what to say.
No, you didn't even ask a good question.
I didn't. I barely even asked a question, really. But yes, did this advance the story at all? Not really.
No.
But I don't need these
Definitively
two.
no. Not really. No.
Give me a little side quest. Give me a little side quest.
It wasn't even a side quest. It wasn't even a side quest. Frank
He's trying
Castle
to get
kills
out,
people trying to
and
kill
they
him.
pull him
That's what
back
Frank Castle's
in.
always been trying to do.
He gets pulled back in. He wants out. Did you even watch it?
You know what the worst scene too was?
Oh, what's that?
The Karen stuff.
Yeah.
That was not great.
Comment down below. Do you want more one-offs, or do you need 30-episode
Do you want
seasons?
to watch Goose sock some dingers?
I'm sitting over there watching Fran Drescher saying, I used to make 23 episodes of The Nanny every year. Why can't they do that anymore? What's
right.
next? Yeah.
Moving on here. Goo, we've got Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 hit theaters last week.
You know what they should have called it? More Tool Combat.
There you go.
I don't like that one. Take it back. We're going to think about it and give you something better later.
Made just under 40 million domestically, I believe, just under 60 worldwide, or about 60 worldwide. This is a rated R action adventure fantasy and sci-fi with a mix of dark fantasy, martial arts, and supernatural fantasy. I think the lead up to this, Goo, was promising because the first movie, which came out 5 years ago now,
It's crazy. Yep.
did a lot of stuff right. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it exceeded our expectations.
But also, it wasn't promising you anything.
Yeah. And now this, with a 5-year buildup and a massive cast of characters, the expectations were pretty high here. You were expecting like at least the first movie, right?
Yes.
And Goo, I'm not sure we got that. This is directed by Simon McQuoid, written by Jeremy Slater, Ed Boon, and John Tobias. I think it's the same team that did the first one. I didn't bother looking it up because I'm pretty annoyed by this, Goo.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 2, a runtime of 1 hour and 56 minutes. The synopsis: the fan favorite champions, now joined by Johnny Cage himself, are pitted against one another in the ultimate battle to defeat the dark rule of Shao Kahn that threatens the very existence of the Earth Realm and its defenders. I think, Goo, what this movie got caught up in is trying to make up for the fact that the first movie didn't have like a tournament, right?
It didn't
and that's
have
really
Mortal
what the
Kombat.
game's
Yeah.
about.
It lacked Mortal Kombat.
It did. Unfortunately, this movie only did that and didn't do anything the first movie gave us. And on top of that, I had a serious issue with Carl Urban in this movie. It just did not work for me.
I didn't mind him per se, but it was the reliance on his character to do something cool. They teased the entire movie like, this guy's going to do something cool. Just sit and wait. It's going to be something. You're going to go home and talk about this for years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he really did anything cool.
No. So you get Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, Tati Gabrielle as Jade. She was the one from the Acolyte that no one liked. Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Makad Brooks as Jax Briggs, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, Josh Lawson as Kano, Tadanobu Asano as Lord Raiden, Shin Han as Shang Tsung, Damon Harriman as Quan Chi, Joan Taslim as Bihan, Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, Max Huang as Kung Lao, Louis Tan as Cole Young, CJ Bloomfield as Baraka, Anna Thu Nguyen as Queen Sindel, Sophia Zhu as Young Katana, Desmond Kiam as King Jared. I believe that's all you need to know.
How do you feel about this? I'm flailing my arms around.
Ronnie Teasgoo, 64% from the critics, 89% from the audience. This felt like a movie that, like, I'm going to look up what the first one got. This felt like a movie that should have been like 98% audience, right? This should have been fully appeasing the fans. First one only got 85%. That's interesting.
Oh, well, there was no Mortal Kombat. People were upset.
Yeah, and I wonder, it's low at 55% from the critics. Like, to me, my first takeaway, rapid reaction was, one, didn't like it. Two, first one was definitely better.
The first one was more of a let's pull someone from the outside in here. And this one kind of has that, once again, with Johnny Cage, because he's from the outside and they're trying to teach him, like, hey, you used to be a great martial artist. You need to do this. So they're kind of doing the same thing. But this one is definitely from the rip, we're doing a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so they have almost the same score on Metacritic, 44 for the first, 47 for the second. I think that Metacritic for the first one, I think in general the audiences were too low on the first one. I think they're too high on this one, honestly. I just don't feel like let's think about the movies we grew up on, Goo. Like the first Mortal Kombat.
Is that like the first Mortal Kombat?
Mid-90s, I think 95. That is a 59 on Metacritic. I think that movie's better than the second
It's very
movie.
stylized.
Yeah, I think that's better than the second movie. But I don't know if it's better than the first one.
It's more in your face, and I like that.
I
The
just
90s is all about being in your face.
it just felt like we were like this could have been so great and so fun, and it wasn't very fun. It wasn't very fun. Like we got some cool moments, but I don't know. It just felt like we had the conversation via text. It was trying to do a lot and didn't really do anything. Like
It was building
it
something
set a lot
big.
of things in motion, and like nothing came of it.
It was building something big and then just kind of went out with a whimper at the end.
Yeah, it really flamed out. I had, and again, expectations are a thing that can ruin your experiences, but I had pretty high expectations for this. And Goo, I think it's the worst movie I've seen this year.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
That wasn't a Karen Reed TV movie.
And you've seen 5 of those.
I gave the first one 30 hot dogs, which I think is a good score for that. Maybe
Yeah.
you could maybe even argue up to like 31, 32.
Probably wouldn't.
I got this at 20 hot dogs. It's not terrible, but it's pretty bad.
I got it around like 25, 26. I don't think it's as bad as what you're what you're telling me.
I was
think
annoyed.
I was annoyed, and I think that Carl Urban not as bad as what you're telling me. I think the voice throws you off.
I don't think he was bad. It just didn't work for me. I wish it was pretty much.
Well, you
anyone
wanted them to
else.
say more C words.
I just wanted him to have his accent.
That's all I wanted. All right, Mac, let's move on to a movie that I peeped my poppers on last week, and that would be Michael, the music biopic for Michael Jackson, directed by Antoine Fuqua, written by John Logan, produced by the Bohemian Rhapsody people, and it stars Nia Long, Coleman Domingo, and Jafar Jackson. So let's take out the stuff that they took out of the movie at the end of the movie. Let's take out what could have been a 20-year peek into the window of his life.
They do like 10, right?
They do 10.
Yeah.
And I'll even say this. I think they should have done less. I think they should have done. So at the beginning of the movie, it is Jackson 5 stuff. And Michael dealing with, the father is verbally abusive in this and does get physical at times. And then in a very small part of the movie is Michael breaking away from the Jackson 5 and going on to his solo stuff. This movie, I think, and this would have also taken away all of the argument of like, well, why aren't you showing this, this, and this? If they just did the window of Jackson 5 and then him going into Off the Wall and maybe some Thriller, I would say this into Off the Wall. That's what the movie should have been.
So, 2 issues with that. Number one, I think the largest gripe people have had of this biopic renaissance the last few years, and it's been too snapshotty. They're just telling one story in a really large
But
story.
I think the interesting
And
story
I think
here,
specifically with Michael Jackson, that becomes very problematic.
I think the issue is that they don't pay enough attention to the interesting things. It's just that it's like, okay, here's
Well, that's
Jackson
a decision
5.
they have to make, because if they're not going to do the down things, they're not going to
Yeah.
do the up things either.
Here's
right?
Jackson 5. Here's Off the Wall. Here's Thriller. Here's Bad. It's like, okay, so you're just going down his Wikipedia page and giving me some like concert highlights and stuff. I would rather see the drama of him trying to break away from his family and his father.
Understood. Do you think that I know it shouldn't, but the VH1 special that came out 30 years ago on the Jacksons, the Jackson 5, do you think because it's so well known how hard the upbringing was that they purposely sort of, glossed over that?
Maybe because, yeah, that is a big part. But I don't know. It just feels like there's so many missing holes in the story of like, what's his name? Quincy
Jones.
Thank you, Quincy Jones. Like, he just shows up. Like, where did they meet? How did they come to be? Because Quincy Jones, especially in that 3-album run, as important as Michael Jackson. Like, you need to give me a proper introduction to him.
What's it? Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad? Those are
Yeah.
the 3 featured?
Yeah.
So on Roddy T's Goo, I believe it has a 98% from the audience and like 30 or 40 from the critics. It also has a 39, I think, on Metacritic. Where do you fall there? Who is more accurate?
If you're going into it and you just want the feel-good highlights, which I feel like that's what the audience wants, and maybe they don't believe certain things about him, and this is just what they want. Like, I understand that. It's kind of fun if you're willing to turn a blind eye.
If you had to critique this
Yes.
and write something for published media, would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'd be thumb in the middle. I'd be thumb. Like, I think what they gave us, because they do cut it off in 88 before things start to really go
Now, are
off.
you reviewing this as a Michael Jackson fan, or are you reviewing this like through the lens of a reviewer?
Let me tell you this, is that in the build-up to this movie, I had to do some news pieces on the movie. And I hadn't listened to Michael Jackson music in probably a decade. Listening to his music, I'm like, fuck, this is so good. It is outrageous how good this music is.
Yeah, true. Very true. And like if you think about when he emerges, I think it's 79, 82, and what, 80, 85 for Bad or 87 for Bad?
Yeah, it's like a little... So, yeah, there's big time jumps in there.
But when he emerges in 79, you're coming off, these like classic American rock bands, more soft rock. Disco's coming to an end. And there's nothing that sounds like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is this new, fresh sound that has some disco roots.
Yeah, it has
some
the disco...
Pop
but also,
roots.
like that disco stuff in his first album is better than any other disco.
No, for sure. For sure. And I mean, like I'm a massive Michael Jackson fan. I couldn't have been less excited to go see this and still haven't seen it. And so were you feeling that way? Like, did you see it out of necessity? Like, what prompted you to see it?
I saw it and I had the opportunity to see it. So I watched it, and at the end I said, I didn't really get that much out of it.
Okay.
Because you can also go back and watch those concerts with the real Michael Jackson. And also credit to his nephew, Jafar, who did an amazing job of really capturing Michael on the stage.
Okay. What do you have it dog score-wise?
27, 28.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I don't think it's terrible.
Better or worse than Bohemian Rhapsody?
I liked it a little better.
Okay.
I didn't like Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, I hated it. Better or worse than Chalamet's A Complete Unknown?
Complete, huh? How does it feel? I think that was better storytelling, and I know that I'm going to go against what I just said, but I think this had a little more fun to it.
Okay, and I'm assuming you haven't seen the Winehouse or the Bob Marley ones.
No.
Those are really the two. Oh, did you see the Springsteen one with Jeremy Allen White?
I have not seen that one yet.
Seen that
and
one either.
When asked, they're like, "Oh, is it better or worse than Rocket Man?" Rocket Man still sits at the top for me.
Rocket Man is not quite 40 Dogs, but it flirted with it.
Rocket Man did a great job of storytelling and also putting a spin on it that makes it a lot more interesting than. That's the one that you watch and you're like, oh, I couldn't have just watched a biopic to get that entertainment.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
whereas this one still...
The monkey movie about the British guy?
I still haven't seen the monkey British guy yet.
Yeah, Rocket Man to me is like how you should make a biopic.
Mm-hmm.
It's tailored to your artist, and it's a performance where the artist is, or the actor is singing the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that each year that passes where we see these biopics being spit out left and right, I think we have an even more appreciation for Rocket Man. All right, moving on to something that was something Goo has seen that I haven't. Now we're moving on to something that I have seen that Goo hasn't. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. This was a 10-episode season of television on Disney Plus. This is rated a TV PG, action, adventure, animation. There's a lot of them here. Crime, family, sci-fi, dystopian sci-fi, gangster, computer animation, space sci-fi. Goo, this is a natural, I think, evolution, continuation of the Maul character that we've seen in animated Star Wars, and something a lot of fans have been waiting for a long time. And talk about something that's been promised for years and years and been built up. It's something we wanted. In the way that Mortal Kombat doesn't deliver, or the way that the Punisher doesn't deliver, this does.
Stop talking poorly about my Punisher.
This is created by Dave Filoni and Matt Michnovitz. Michnovitz? I don't know how to say that. On Star Wars. On Rotten Tomatoes, Goo, 98% from the critics, 93% from the audience. It's a 75 on Metacritic. And I think because we've seen Star Wars falter so much in the last decade plus, you could argue it's the best thing Star Wars has done.
Are the negative reviews, do they all say, but Maul's dead?
Yeah, great point. Maybe. I'm not going to read those.
Yeah.
I think you could argue it's the best thing Star Wars has done over the last decade. Now, you and I have not seen Andor. A lot of people would argue Andor is that as well. But guess what, Goo? This has lightsabers.
It does.
This show stars Sam Witwer as Darth
Brandon
Maul.
Witt?
Dennis Haysbert as Master Ego Diao-Daki. You know that voice very well. You're not going to know the name. Look him up. You'll notice.
Is it Pedro Serrano?
No. Is it? No, it's not. Gideon Adlin as Devin Izara. Richard Iode. You know his face as well. He plays Two Boots. That's a droid. Wagner Moore as Brander Lawson.
Dennis Haysbert, right?
Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah, that's Pedro Serrano.
It is? All right, there you go.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of other cast of characters in here, Goo. But essentially...
Is Joe Boo in the show?
The synopsis. After the Clone Wars, Maul plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. So, for those that don't watch animated Star Wars, and I used to be one up until, 6, 7, 8 years ago, your only inkling that Darth Maul still exists in live-action Star Wars is maybe a line or two here and there. But
He was in Solo.
I was going to say, but the end of Solo
He's
indicates he's still alive.
He's a spider, right?
And you're like, oh, how the fuck is this? Because the last time you see Maul in live action is him getting sliced in half down a tube hole in 99's Phantom Menace.
Because he was so blown away that that Obi-Wan Kenobi could do flips.
So he gets picked back up, Goo, in Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I think began in 2007, I want to say. And in that series, they do more for this character than I think any other show or thing has done for any other single character in terms of redeeming them. You know, not building up in the first place, but redeeming them. And Maul becomes, other than Ahsoka, like easily the best animated Star Wars character, because there's layers to this character that they build out. And if you remember, Goo, I think he has one line in Phantom Menace. Like, he barely talks. Sam Witwer gives this character such depth and such emotion. Maul's never a good guy. He's not a good guy in this. He's not a good guy in the Clone Wars. I think we see him in Rebels a little bit too. He's never been a good guy. But they get him to the point that he's a bad guy who goes against other bad guys, and you understand his motivation. And those characters are also very cool, because you can do whatever you want with them and not risk people not believing they're a good guy anymore. And so a lot of Clone Wars is that, a lot of Rebels is that, and this show is predominantly that. Like, hey, this guy's a bad guy, he's doing bad shit, but he's doing it against other bad guys. So it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing. And in this show, I don't want to spoil it too much because Goo hasn't seen it. I hope he watches it at some point.
Probably not going to watch it.
Maybe you out there haven't watched it. There's essentially a youngish Jedi character that gets kind of forced into being Maul's sidekick, and the dynamic between those two are great. The season ends on a little bit of like all right, we just built this underling, we're going to have at least another season or two. And Goo, the whole time during this season, you're thinking, I wonder if this character is going to show up. He does, and it's pretty great.
Qui-Gon Jinn?
So
is it Qui-Gon Jinn?
It's not Qui-Gon Jinn.
It's not Qui-Gon Jinn.
If you want to hear a full review, ask the hashtag dork, or go watch the hashtag.
Don't ask them
dork
anything.
podcast.
They don't want to answer your question.
They reviewed the full season. They both gave it 6 out of 6. I don't know if I loved it as much as they did. Out of 40 dogs, I think I might be about 35, 36.
So just below the Punisher.
It's really great. It's really great, and I think it's going to lead to more greatness. It's not my favorite Star Wars animated thing, though. I still like Rebels more than this. I do think it's better than Clone Wars. If you told me, though, it's your favorite thing Star Wars has done in the last say even 20 years, I wouldn't fault you for it. I think it's good enough to be in the conversation.
All right, so I recommend The Punisher. Mac does not.
I do not.
Neither of us really recommend Mortal Kombat 2.
No, skip it.
Michael it really depends on you. Do whatever you want. And then Maul says yes on Mac.
2 big thumbs up.
Sorry.
for
Maul. No. Maul does not say yes on you.
Sure
Mac
he does.
says yes on
We're
Maul.
both bald assholes.
Let's get into Mac Sack.
And Mac Sack could be anything. It could be a boat. And Mac, did you see this? Did you hear about this? The hacky sack is making a comeback.
Oh, I thought we were going to spend 20 minutes on Hillary Duff's SI cover.
I thought, no, well, it's in the notes. Did you think we were actually going to start playing hacky sack?
Virtual. I'll tell you, I don't know if I ever really hacked sack back in the day.
Do you
like, there
think-
was people our age that hacked sack. Occasionally I would hack sack, but it wasn't a hobby of mine.
Because I think we were a smidge younger than the prime.
We missed the prime
Hacky
sack
sack
package.
time.
Yeah, because I feel
There
like that was like
were-
98 to 2000.
There were some people in our grade that were still sacking at the
Still
time
sack and hack, yeah.
of our graduation, but it was never something that I'm like, I feel like hacking some sack.
It became like a weird move by the time we graduated high school, like 2007.
Yeah, like
now
the
it's-
Sizzlacks. When the Sizzlacks weren't slapping the bass, they were hacking sack.
Now it's starting to come back, you.
It's not just starting to come back. There's a lot of what's the high school young thing right now? Is that Gen Z?
Oh, that I don't know. I'm bad at
Whatever the
keeping track
Gen
of it.
is
Yeah.
that is in high school right now.
Where do they go to after Z? Back to A? Is there a Gen A?
Does it go to Alpha?
Or maybe double A? Then
Does-
double B?
you go back to
A1,
triple A
A2?
after the majors.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, they're out there hacking. They're hacking sack.
I'll hack sack with you one day if you'd like.
I don't know if I want to. I was never good at it when I did do it.
Where do you buy hacky sack these days?
I would assume anywhere.
Yeah, they sell them everywhere.
They sell them everywhere. The local mall kiosk, I would assume, has tons of hacky sacks.
Hey, here's if anyone's out there is crafting hacky sacks,
Yeah.
send one my way. I'll utilize it.
Send Mac a custom hacky sack that's shaped like Mac's sack.
It's just the top of my head. It's just blank.
It's the big bald hacky sack. That's all I have on hacky
Yeah,
sacks.
all right.
Hacky sacks are back.
Hacky sacks are back.
Hacky sacks are back, and we are not.
We're not
sacking them
leading the
hacks.
charge.
No, we are not. But I appreciate it. Honestly.
I don't think we're qualified to lead the charge either. So there's nothing we can do about it.
No, it's outside of our window.
Yeah.
It's outside of our hack and sack and window. Mac, where can the folks find us?
You can find us on Instagram and on Twitter as Mac and Goo Podcast. Every other platform, we are Mac & Goo. It's Mac Shift 7 Goo on your keyboard. That includes Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Spreaker, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, but more importantly, Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, 5 stars. One of these days, we'll get you a free Mac and Goo t-shirt from the folks over at Watertown Sportswear. Watertown Sportswear is on 34 Mount Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com. Expert screen printing and embroidery.
tpublic.com. Merch. I'm thinking next episode, I just wear a wig. I don't care for this.
Will you wear wigs?
I will wear wigs. I don't care for what I've got going on the top of my head right now.
All right. Yeah, sure.
It's going to take a long time to get it back, if ever. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is what I am now.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look like goo.
It doesn't look like me, and everyone's like, "What's going on right now?" Plus,
Is that
I have
why
a-
you kept the mustache so wide
so
this time?
I have a thick mustache right now that does not go with my hairstyle.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. Both my hair and my mustache are confused. All right. Tuesdays are goose days. I abuse kangaroos. Tam Burton. You got to say bye.
Bye. Bye.
Let's get into Mac Sack.
Now it's time for girls jumping on trampolines.